Hello and welcome back to Allie Bakes, where today our recipe comes from Bravetart by Stella Parks. I can't tell you how excited I am to get back in the kitchen after a much longer than anticipated hiatus due to getting married this year and starting a new job, but there is always time for key lime pie. Now, I consider myself somewhat of a connoisseur of key lime pie. I did live in Florida for a year before moving up here to the city, so I've had my fair share of pie, and I've heard my fair share of opinions regarding how this should be made. This recipe comes from a cookbook that's a James Beard Foundation Award winner, New York Times bestseller, and claims to be the absolute authority on iconic American desserts. So let's get started. Now, I really feel like I would be cheating if I didn't make my own graham cracker crust for this pie, and graham cracker crust just tastes better when it's homemade anyway, so we're blitzing together 9 ounces or 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs. And then we are melting 4 ounces of unsalted butter in the microwave and combining that with our graham crackers. It would have been so silly for me to buy a pre-made graham cracker crust because this was too easy. It's literally 2 ingredients and it's going to taste so much better. So we are pressing our graham cracker crumblies into our pie dish. And this only took a little bit of manhandling to get the graham cracker crumbs evenly distributed in the bottom of the pie plate without any holes or thin spots. Our pie crust goes into the oven for 18 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And the easy part of this recipe is officially over. Now, I am a real glutton for punishment because I decided to make my own sweetened condensed milk instead of buying it in the lovely little can that you get on the bottom shelf at the grocery store. So all this takes is 4 cups of milk, 3/4 cup of heavy cream, 1 cup of sugar, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And then 45 minutes of consistently stirring. While my little sweetened condensed milk science experiment was happening on the stove, I was able to take my pie crust out of the oven and oh my gosh, it smelled amazing. Now, for some reason, I don't have footage of what my sweetened condensed milk looked like after I gave myself tennis elbow stirring it for 45 minutes, but it eventually reduced and I stuck it in the fridge, so now it's time to work on the custard for our pie. This involved separating 5 egg yolks into a pot, and then, there's our sweetened condensed milk. I thought it looked pretty convincing. It kind of looked like it came out of the can. It was the right consistency. So we are adding 3/4 cup of lime juice, as well as 2 tablespoons of lime zest. And then this was my attempt at tempering my eggs because my sweetened condensed milk was still a little bit warm and I didn't want to have scrambled egg key lime pie. So I just poured a little bit in at a time to get the eggs used to the temperature of the milk. So eventually I got it all combined and then I just had to transfer my key lime pie filling to the stove until it reached 125 degrees Fahrenheit. Basically, this entire recipe was just me sweating over my stove and stirring for a very long time. Now, as soon as that mixture hit 125, I poured it into my cooled pie crust and then attempted to pop any remaining air bubbles. And I was really shocked because I assumed that this was going to go back into the oven, but instead it was just destined for the fridge for 4 hours. So I slowly walked my very liquid pie over to the fridge. And I only messed it up a little bit by slamming the refrigerator door on it. So here we are, 4 hours and clearly 1 nap later, making the whipped topping for our pie. This just took 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and 3/4 cup of heavy cream. And this just got beat together until it went from looking like this. Nice stiff peaks for our whipped cream. Now I just had to prepare my piping bag very slowly, trying to give the pie in the fridge ample time to set. But if all else failed, I knew I was going to have delicious whipped cream that I could just lick off the top. I think at about the 3-hour mark, I transferred this pie to the freezer just because it did not look like it was setting, but it appeared to be set when I pulled it out at 4 hours. So here we go, filling the piping bag with our homemade whipped cream. And then I just piped beautiful little dollops all over the top, trying to get it as photo accurate as possible. I honestly am very thankful for this American cookbook because it seems a lot simpler and a lot more attainable than the French cookbook I've been working out of. In fact, I think this is the most photo accurate thing I have ever baked in my entire life, so I get points for that.
Is it set enough? Probably not. Do I want to go to sleep? Yes. Oh. You know, you really think life's going one way. And then you're... Oh, okay, well.
So it didn't set, but that's okay.
I'll put this back in the fridge.
We are officially calling this a deconstructed key lime pie.
You don't want any of this, it's really bad. It's really terrible.
It's times like these that I'm thankful that I'm not a person who has an issue with texture, because while this pie was a little more soupy than it was pie-like, it was absolutely fantastic.
Well, it didn't set, but that was delicious. I don't know if I just had maybe it's because I had a deeper pie dish. Maybe I didn't cook the condensed milk down enough for it to be like really solid. We'll see tomorrow. But that was delicious. That brought my socks.
I am so excited to be back in the kitchen baking for you guys on a regular basis. This pie proved that, I'm nothing if not interesting. I'll see you next time.